Okay, here is T669, partially disassembled. And I'm going to show you some stuff. One of the things kind of threw me for a loop. I'll show you in a second here. So, turns out we have the decoder. It is an ESU 59622, which is a Plux 22. Which we need for this because this is this European standard, and we need that Plux 22 standard, and it will go in place of this little DC module that we took out. Anyways, what we had to do was we needed to get the trucks out, because if we're going to detail up these trucks, they got to come out. They're unpainted, and we have to figure out a scheme for the underside. I think what I want to do first, take the wheels out and stuff and do the trucks. I am thinking I either want to mist this with some gray or some white so that we can take probably just liquid talent only. I don't know, we'll see if liquid talent only gives us the look we want, because these trucks are generally, they're kind of this color, factory like. And then over time, they get a little bit dirty, and some of the details are not just gray like this. Also, when taking these trucks out, which was not easy to do, we find this. And this here, let me get some glasses on here. Okay, this here, this is what we do not want to see. If you see that grease in there, right there? I think we all know what that is. Sure does look and feel a whole lot like Teflon. And we're not remotoring it. I mean, usually we get rid of these motors, but I mean, it's, what is it, a 5-pole? It's a decent motor, and it's brand new in good condition. All we need to do is get down in there and give it a dot of air tool oil so it stays decent. That's all it needs. Good to go. But we got to see down in here, if you can see that white Teflon spread down into there. We got to get that out of there. We don't want that spread. We don't want that to get anywhere, because ultimately it will reach that motor shaft, and then problems will happen. Now, to take off this board that sits in the top, you have to unsolder 2 connections. You can see the solder spots there. But I had to take pictures, because look, there's 2 solder pads for that one. There's 2 solder pads for that one. You got to remember which one is which. The cab, kind of interesting. Here's the cab. I wonder if we should do a little detailing on this. It's kind of interesting, though, in that there's a seat for an engineer on both sides, whichever way it goes. That's kind of cool. We might, I don't know what we're going to do with this yet. I think we could probably leave it, because this color alone is good enough. But now let me show you something else here. When you unsolder these wires here, they have come up through these holes. But when you take the top off, underneath here are these 2 pads, these 2 round circles, and they are connected down by these phosphor bronze springs that should look like that. But for some reason, this one, I don't know why he looks like that. That don't seem right. But maybe there's a reason for that. I don't know. So we leave him alone. We'll have to figure out which one is where. And I think I have an idea that one of them reaches way down to the bottom, and one of them is closer to the top. That's not that big of a deal. Okay, so I don't think we need to disassemble this any further than it is. And we got some handrails coming out here, no big deal. And because we can detail this in the way we want. You got these grills here and stuff, and that ought to be good to go. Then I did figure I was going to take the glass out so I could do something, because we want to put, right now it says CSD, I think that's Czechoslovakia, but we're going to have to put our own reporting mark on there, and I want to keep the original lettering. Look at that. Look at the cab. See how the windows got chrome on them? That's cool. This is really well done. And it's even got windshield wipers. That's pretty cool. I think what I want to do is I want to fit in something, and maybe we'll do a placard. Maybe we'll print a placard like we do for number boards and just stick them on there so that we don't have to do anything destructive. Then what we got to do on this guy is he's obviously got to be detailed out with all these things, and we need to fit in. Oh no, I got greasy fingerprints on there. We need to fit in some big numbers. They're going to be white, and we need big numbers on this. I know he's got a number on him somewhere. Where did I see that guy? A number board, right? Yeah, he says 0010. He can't be 0010 because he can't be that. That's actually the number of this locomotive. We're going to make this, see how they did it? Does that look familiar? That sure does look an awful lot like the way we do it all the time. We're going to stick another one over it with our actual number. And we'll have to figure out which railroad should get this guy. Now, because he's red, I'm going to have to say it's probably going to be Midway. I know we got a lot of Midway locomotives. And the number we have on the layout is half of what's underneath in the storage racks. It's way less. It's like 20% of what's in the storage racks of locomotives we've already painted this way. All right, so what we got to do now is we're going to take out the wheels and we're going to get the gears and stuff into the ultrasonic and get that. Look how much that's caked in there. If you can see how much that's caked in there. That Teflon. We don't want that around because look at that. It's even sitting new in the box. It made it all the way out into where those spring clips are. We can't have that. Teflon spreads everywhere. Once it reaches the motor, that's it. That's it for the motor. So now I've marked the front truck with the red Sharpie. Rear truck, like, yeah. Okay, we're going to take the gears out. We're going to get them cleaned up. And then we're going to do some red lithium in there. And we're going to do something. Spray this. We could do a clear coat, a matte finish. That should give us enough traction to do what we want to do. But right now, this is unpainted plastic. So that's what we're going to do. All right, and then to take this out, take this guy out of here. As you remember, we had took those hatches off, took 2 screws out, took the shell off. The cab is just attached on there with a couple little pins on the cab thing here. He comes off. He's not glued in place or nothing. We'll probably have to take the windows out for a moment to do the decals so that we can then clear coat them and then put it back together. And then we will paint the horns. They got to be I don't know what the sewer paint. They got to look like horns. Okay, then everything else here looks really good, and I don't want to remove decals or any of that kind of stuff, but I do want to detail, like these bumpers here, they don't actually look like that in the real world, so we'll do something about that. And then we got the coupler. One coupler just pulls out on a shaft right here. And look at these cool Katy couplers. I didn't even seen these kind before. But we'll have to, yes, we have to bend the trip pin, and we got to get them coated in graphite. And then we got to do the same thing for this other one, which now we have access to. So that's where we're at. I'm going to get these guys in the cleaner and get them going. And now that we got the Loke Sound decoder for this, we are going to be rolling. It's going to be great.